Hey, welcome back to Dee's Roads. I am Dee, and today we're going to be talking about kitchen appliances that you can use for car camping, SUV camping, van life, or, heck, tent camping that are all under $50. So the first three things that I'm going to show you today are all under $50. Matter of fact, you can probably buy all three of these things together under $50. And the best part about these things is you do not have to have a power station or any type of power supply beyond your vehicle for one of them. So the very first thing, this is a mini oven. This particular brand is Sabat Heat. And basically it comes with a 12 volt plug that you can just plug into your car's 12 volt DC or lighter plug. And I think it has like high, medium, and low modes. It has different modes that you can set. As you can see, it's insulated and it has this heating element inside of it. And according to this, it's only 30 to 90 watts that it uses. So this really comes in handy where maybe you have something that you just need to preheat and not necessarily cook, but you need to heat it up. Maybe you've made it at home before your trip. Or it's something store-bought. This is handy on your way to your destination. You can plug this into your vehicle and let it heat up and, preheat or heat your food for you. This works with, I've tried this with like those MREs that you can buy at REI and things like that. I've also tried this with one of those small glass Pyrex dishes, where it's something that I've made from home and then I just plop that food inside the Pyrex container or whatever container I have. And my food can be cooked as I'm driving. I don't know if you all have seen those Rana pastas in your local grocery stores, but they have things like chicken Alfredo, lasagna, ravioli. I've actually tried the lasagna. I've just heated up the lasagna in this and it worked out quite well. So that's your very first item. You can pick these up at, of course, the big box stores. You can pick these up at a lot of truck stops. You can pick these up. I think Harbor Freight might also have them. This one I got off of Amazon. I don't provide Amazon links anymore, but they're available all over the place. This one is the mini oven. The second thing that I use, I don't think I've actually ever showed this in any of my videos, but this is like a little alcohol stove. So you can get the isopropyl alcohol, pour it into this little canister here, and you just put this on top. You can set up this stove like this. You can also set up the stove like this here, and then put your pot or pan on top of there. So this is also a really nice, small, compact stove that you can use that doesn't cost a lot of money. There are a lot of different brands that you can buy. And again, it's one of those things where you can find at a lot of different camping stores, and it takes up minimal space. So there's your second option there. And then the third option that I'll show you that does not need power, does not need electricity, is dun, 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 a butane stove. Ooh. A butane stove. So of course you can also use a propane stove. I purchased this when I first started car camping, and I really didn't know much about car camping. Or camping in general. So when I purchased this butane stove, I did not realize that, and this happens to be, this is a Coleman butane stove, but there are so many different brands, and like I said, they're available everywhere. But the thing that I did not realize about butane is that at certain temperatures, butane will not, it won't work. So you might want to invest in a stove that maybe has propane. There are some that have both propane and butane combos. So I wish I would have known that before I started car camping. I think that might be true for the alcohol stoves as well. So I'll put that up here. Y'all hear that wind? So now we'll move on to the category where you will need a power station for these particular items. The power station that I use, this is a Blue Eddy EB3A. It's one of their older models. I've had it, maybe going, let's see. I've had this one probably at least 2 years, and I've never had a problem with it. This is one of the lower wattage ones that you can get. So this is great for weekend trips. It's great if you have a solar panel, if you want to extend the life of it. It's great because it's compact and it's not very heavy. So when you do need to recharge it, you can easily take it into places like libraries or Dunkin' Donuts, and sit there and eat your coffee or whatever while you're charging. Drink your coffee while you're charging your power station. And something that I've seen that I haven't actually tried myself, but something that I've seen on another YouTuber's channel who I watch a lot is the Ethnic Explorer. And he recently went on an East Coast, like coastal trip. And he found that all of the park pavilions that he would go to, they have the power plug, they have the power outlets. And all the ones that he found, they still had their power on. So he was able to recharge using those, the power outlets at the pavilions in public parks. So that's a great tip. That's something that I didn't know. I never even tried. So yeah, great tip. That's another way that you can power up your portable power stations. Okay, moving on. So this right here, again, when I first started car camping, even before my YouTube channel, I had no clue what this was. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? This right here is called an immersion heater. So you can plug it into your power station. This particular one, this immersion heater uses AC, but you can find them with DC. And basically what you do is, let me demonstrate. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this cup here. So basically, you plug it into your power station. I'm gonna make sure this is off because it's not good to do if it's not submerged in water. So yes, it's off. Okay. And it has like a little hook right here. And basically, you fill the cup with water up to the line where it states, in between the min and max lines. You put that in there, and this boils water, especially in a tiny cup like this. I mean, 1.5 minutes, max probably 2 minutes with this type of cup. Now, of course, the more water you have, the longer it's going to take to boil. But this right here boils water very, very quickly. And even though I have one of the lowest wattage power stations, this Blue Eddy EB3A can handle this immersion heater just fine. So this is great for making anything where you need hot or boiled water, coffee, tea. Maybe you got some water out of a lake somewhere and you want to boil it. Another great purpose. This serves as a great purpose for that as well. Let's see, what else could you do? Oatmeal, I've used it for oatmeal. Basically anything where you need hot water. Some of those MRE packs, they need boiling water as well. So this has come in very handy. I think I picked it up on Amazon a few years ago when I first started this YouTube channel for like 10 bucks. So there you go. Now I have to remember to put all of this stuff back in the places where they were while I'm doing this video, so that when I actually go to use this stuff, it's where I need it to be. Okay. The next thing that I have here, and I just got this a few months back. This is a hot pot. This particular brand is Design. I don't know how to say it, but that's what it is. And basically it comes with 2 power settings. So it comes with a 250 watt setting and a 650 watt setting. I tend to keep this on the 250 watt setting when I'm using it. This comes with a little, this cute little, if I could get it attached, there we go. It comes with a cute little stand where you can put your eggs on so you can hard boil eggs. Yeah. Comes with a power cord, and it also comes with a little spatula, so you don't have to purchase one separately. It works perfectly for this. And basically, if I'm in an area where I can't do any outdoor cooking, and I know that my power supply is okay, I know I have a way to charge my BougeRV, most of the time I just use this to cook, again, anything I need. Not only can I make hard-boiled eggs, I can also make regular eggs, like scrambled eggs, dippy eggs, but maybe y'all don't call them dippy eggs. You might call them eggs over easy. You can make meat in here, you know, chop up meat, make that in here. You can make pasta in here. You can make oatmeal in here. Pretty much anything you want to make, you can make it in here. Make rice, all kinds of things. When I first started out camping, car camping, I used a rice cooker and one of those Dash, like portable pancake, a really tiny Dash pancake maker thingy. But I found that that pancake maker was kind of limiting. There were a few things that I could make with it. I could make, you know, sandwiches that are warmed up. I can make pancakes, of course, but I really didn't make those things on a regular basis. And with the rice cooker, it just took a long time to actually boil the water. Of course, it was great at making rice, but I needed something that was going to be used for just making rice and just making a few items, like with that pancake maker. Now, originally my daughter bought me a pot similar to this, and it had a detachable handle, but a few months ago I broke the detachable handle, so I had to go out and buy this, which, you know, this was a great purchase. I highly recommend this here. So as far as utensils go, just bring the ones that you have from home, and if that doesn't work for you, you know, there are plenty of camping stores that will sell these kits where it's like a 3-in-1, where you have your spoon, your fork, your knife all in one. I mean, really just use what you have at home. Same for your pots and pans that you use on your stove, on your gas stove. You know, when I first started, I just used what I had. I brought pots and pans from home. That, you know, I could just bring with me car camping. So you don't have to go out and spend extra money on specific pots and pans for car camping. Unless, like me, you're kind of like, don't have a lot of space. Then you can purchase one of those. If you don't already have one, you can purchase one of those the camping pots and pans where they collapse into each other. Those are really great options. I know I have it in here somewhere. It's in this cabinet. I have to go digging for it. Another thing that I like to use on this is this mini Dutch oven. It's from a company called Emusa. And I like using that too. I tend to try to only use this cooking outdoors. Of course, there are times where I forgot my power station and I've had to use this indoors. And of course, when you use it in the vehicle itself, you always want to make sure you have ventilation. Keep it on a low heat setting. That way, you know, you can avoid starting a fire in your vehicle. As far as actual plates and bowls, I purchased this, and this acts as a plate and as a bowl. So, you know, I can eat cereal in here. I can eat pasta in here. I can eat a steak out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is really the only one that I use anymore. I try to only make what I'm actually going to eat and purchase what I'm actually going to eat. That way I don't have to turn on my refrigerator for extra, you know, just to keep leftovers cool. But again, I'm not full-time, so I use these little containers like this in the event that I do make too much and I can't eat what I made. And then you can store it in a refrigerator. There's a lot of different options for car refrigerators. I was extremely fortunate to where BougeRV, one of the perks of YouTube videos when you do stuff like this is a lot of times companies will reach out to you. You know, you get free products that you make a video on, and then the product is yours. So I was fortunate enough to receive a free refrigerator from BougeRV. If it wasn't for BougeRV, I would not have a refrigerator in my SUV camping setup, period. I would just rely on bags like this, these insulated bags. And then sometimes if it was a longer trip, or if it was a trip where I was bringing my son with me, I would use a little Coleman cooler. And sometimes I would just end up, if my camp wasn't too far from grocery stores, I would just go every day or every other day. That way I didn't have to constantly keep ice in bags. But yeah, there are tons of options that we have out there where you don't need a refrigerator and you don't need a bag like this. You know, non-perishable foods that you can find that nowadays they don't have a bunch of sodium and things like that inside of them. One purchase that I recently made that kind of goes along hand in hand with this video. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but I found this at Ross, and it's called an over the sink prep set. So basically it's a cutting board and it has a removable washing bowl. So this pops out, you can remove it, and it's also collapsible. So like I said, I haven't used it yet because I have a really tiny cutting board that I use. It's like that big. So it fits in this cabinet here, but this is another great option to have. Okay, we put this stuff away because I'm using it. That's one thing that you will find with van life or SUV camping or car camping. This is already a small space to work with. So one of the best ways that I found, you know, to keep things not super duper cluttered is put them away, clean things up, put them away as soon as you're done using them. That way you don't have a huge mess on your hands. And I think the last part of this video, since we're talking kitchen things, let's talk sinks. So this back here looks like it's actually a sink, right? This is a kid's kitchen set, play set that I got from IKEA a few months back, and it comes with this little play sink. Now, eventually, I may think about putting a hole in this and setting up an actual kitchen area. For now, I'm not, because in this cabinet here, I store a LifePo 4 battery that I have hooked up to an inverter that's over in this cabinet here. So I don't want a sink right there right now. That would be super dangerous with water and electricity. Anyway, okay. So when I first started car camping, this is what I used as my sink. This is a cake, like a cake container. I got it from the Dollar Tree. And this is what I used as my sink. I still do use this as a sink most of the times. $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. I use this to give myself like little baths. But this is also what I use for a sink. Now, a few months back, I think it was during the summertime. It was last summer. I found this collapsible picnic basket at Five Below. And I was like, $5 for this collapsible bucket? Yes, I will. And this now doubles as a sink as well. So sometimes with the foods that I make on the gas stove, sometimes I like to let them sit inside of here, because sometimes I be forgetting what I'm doing, and I burn the pan. So sometimes I just need to let the pan sit in here for a little while. So this is great for that. This is great for, you know, anything you would need to use a sink for, cleaning yourself up, bathing, whatever. You just pop it back down. Now it's $5, so I'm not telling you it's like, you know, the best quality and that it's super easy to fold back down, but for $5, I'll deal with it. Now, if I'm if I'm stealth camping and I'm parked at a location overnight where, you know, I can't just get out of the car and dump my gray water, I will dump my gray water responsibly as long as I'm using eco-friendly soap. I usually use Castile soap. But if I'm not in an area where that is possible, and if I'm stealth camping, I still use this because I can close it, not worry about the water spilling. And then when I leave camp, my stealth camp location, like a Cracker Barrel, when I leave that camp, I will find a grassy area where I can dump my gray water in. Again, I use Castile soap. It's eco-friendly, so I'm not hurting the environment. Also, if there is a drainage ditch, not ditch, but you know what I'm saying, a drainage area, I'll pour it down the drainage area because, again, I'm using eco-friendly soaps. I guess while we're on the topic, while we have these here, these little dishcloths or tea towels, whatever, I just got these from Ikea, super cheap. I like the colors, you know, bring some from home. Car camping can be very super duper affordable. You don't need to have all the top gadgets that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can do it on a budget and still enjoy car camping very, very much, and build, you know, if you need extra things to make your car camping, your van life, your SUV camping more enjoyable, you know, get those things along the way. Me personally, I have found that the more, you know, sometimes I'll fall for the trap and I'll see this new device, this cool new thing for, you know, car camping or van life or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, I have to have that. And I get it and I'll use it once. And then I don't use it again. And I just go back to my normal methods that I've been using for years, the foundations that I've started out with. Yeah, so that's been my experience. And then it's more clutter in your tiny space, you know? Okay, so that wraps it up. That is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more tips like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy car camping, stay safe, and I will see you next time.